All right, here we go. Top 10 Friday Night SmackDown moments for May 1st, 2020.
And now Sonya Deville not done yet, heads right back into the ring now, turns her attention to Mandy
She don't
Rose,
impress
and
me.
Sonya Deville now assaulting Mandy.
You think you're better than me? You will never.
A lot of passion there.
Be better than me.
She's, getting into her role. But she's doing all this stuff because she's trying to attract Hollywood, because she says she wants to be an actress, you know what I mean?
I have been in your shadows for far too long.
Oh my God!
Right here,
Oh, into the steps! Punishing Corbin.
Oh, hang on.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Or like Friday Night Tap Out.
Well as Cesaro coming to the aid of King Corbin.
God, I feel so bad for Cesaro and Shinsuke. Now they're saddled with that idiot. Bad enough that they were saddled with Sami Zayn, now they're saddled with him.
And then the shepherd will take the black sheep straight to the slaughterhouse.
Definitely getting more and more
There's
interesting.
no and then.
I loved this
I'm
angle
done
with these two now.
puppets and this
Would have thought,
fucking
man, these guys are
house.
part of the Wyatt family, and now
You
they're
got something to say to me, Bray?
main event in
Come down to this ring.
they call that in
Face.
or the main storyline in SmackDown.
And now back elbows as well by
I think there is an effect being had right now. It's just insensate.
the Irish curse back.
Sheamus, man. Next week,
And Sheamus,
Jeff's coming. He's going to be returning and having his return match. And Sheamus said that he is going to be there too, so we're going to start seeing that build up between those two. Their feud starting.
Daniel Bryan, a cerebral competitor, but Corbin with a right hand.
Cares? Holy crap!
Bring it on.
Oh, Sonya Deville now heading down to the ring. Carmella now from behind.
Predictable. I knew that was going to happen.
Here's the cover by Carmella on Mandy Rose. Carmella's qualified for Money in the Bank.
Here comes Big E, the powerhouse of the New Day. Wesley Blake going for a ride.
Glad that my boys won.
Big E. The 8-time tag team champions are in control.
Definitely making Forgotten Son strong.
Extreme understatement. Look at this. Otis caught the show off.
Hair
Now
Dolph.
sends Ziggler into the corner off the second turnbuckle.
Dolph might be out.
Oh yeah! Love when he does that. Love this move.
Blatant the legal man, knees right into the spine of Kingston. And now Wesley
Like their
center of the ring,
finisher,
cover
man.
to the second rope. The Forgotten Sons continue
Devastation.
to
Boom.
dominate the tag team
Boom.
champions. Here's the cover, hook of the leg. The Forgotten Sons have beaten the tag champs.
Fucking idiots. Doing that hey ho ho thing again.
You deserve it.
What are you talking to?
And Ziggler now measuring his man and looking to tune up the band. Could be super kick time for Otis.
Otis is in the show-off's crosshairs. It's gonna be
Sure he
night-night,
is.
big man.
And look at this now, Otis catching Dolphin. What a throw by Otis! A tremendous throw by Otis, and Ziggler's in trouble. And now Otis is fired up. And
Ziggler
here
should
comes
have
Otis into the
positioned
corner.
himself in a way that it would
And
look.
this time, I don't think Dolph can get out of the way. Elbow delivered to the chest.
That wasn't one of his strongest caterpillars, but got the job done. Otis is in the thing. He's now clinched it. He's in the Money in the Bank match. So that was SmackDown for May 1st, 2020. Let's talk about finishers and why WWE, maybe even AEW and other promotions for that matter, don't protect finisher moves. Both Carmella and Dolph utilize the super kick as their finisher. Sometimes Carmella does the submission move that she does. Sometimes Dolph does the zigzag. Now, Dolph went for the super kick, earlier, right? If I'm not mistaken, he nailed Otis with it. And he went for the pin. Didn't pin him. Then he sets him up at the end, and Otis, was able to get out of that. He did a, he countered it, and then he hit him with the counter pillar. Why would you go for it again when it wasn't successful at the beginning? It's like, you're using it and it wasn't, how about you save it for one time in the ring, one time in a match, instead of having like how it is with the Young Bucks super kick party. They do like what? How many of those super kicks in one match? And then we're all supposed to be excited when they go for a super kick to finish the move. To finish the match. Carmella did the same thing. She hit Mandy Rose with one, and then she goes for it again, and she's able to pin Mandy Rose with it. Like, rarely is a finisher protected nowadays. The only one that I see that it's protected is with Randy Orton. Once he hits you with the RKO, that's it. It's over. The match is done. He doesn't hit it and then the match continues. If he hits it, that's it. That's the problem with wrestling nowadays, is that finishers are not protected anymore. There was a time that even as cheesy and as head scratching that it is, that Hogan can put you away with that leg drop. Nowadays a leg drop is just it's not even a signature move anymore. It's a move to just wear you down. They hit you with it just to put you down and weaken you. It's not even a finisher anymore. But at least back in the day, no matter how weak the move looked, it was a finisher. If it says finisher, that's what it is. It finishes the opponent. It doesn't weaken you. They should call it a weakener. That should be the name of the moves now. There's no such thing as a finisher move anymore. And let's talk about Sonya Deville. People were praising her for that over-the-top, over-dramatic thing that she was cutting, that promo when Mandy was in the ring and telling her how she was focusing too much on Otis and not on us and Fire and Desire and our goal to become the women's tag team champions and all that stuff. And those of you understand and remember that Sonya Deville was saying how she wants to be like The Rock, John Cena, Batista, and all these guys who are in Hollywood and they're movie stars and all that stuff, and she wanted to be like that. So that's what that was. It was her attempt to attract a casting agent out there or a manager or whatever that would go, oh, look at her, she is such a great actress, let's cast her in this in our next movie. That's what that was about. Should she do that? Sure, if she wants to try, but don't act like that's why she was doing it, because she wanted to cut a great promo. There was a thing behind that, and I didn't think nothing about it. She was over dramatic. It was over the top. It didn't even work for me, anyways. You could say whatever you want in response to what I'm saying. She was not doing that for their feud. It was because she wants to attract. Her attention is outside of WWE. She said it. She wants to do wrestling for a bit, but her ultimate goal is to be an actress in Hollywood. So, man, more power to her. That's what she wants to do. But don't act like it was such a great promo, because it wasn't. In the end, it was, like I said, it was over the top. And this time, a little bit better, But her intentions are still there, But more likely, though, these two are going to probably have a kickoff show match at the Money in the Bank, or maybe even a regular match during the main show. That's probably where they're headed with this, and that's fine. Let's just see how far they take it. But I liked what's the show? Oh, SmackDown. Now, last week's was so-so, but this week was good. Forgotten Sons beat the tag champs, the New Day, which is great. It makes them strong. It makes them look right there as a top contender. They may even get a title shot at Money in the Bank. And I'm glad because, like I've said in the past, Steve Cutler and Jackson Riker are Marines. I almost said former. We're never former. We're always Marines. They're Marines like I was, and got to pull for them. They're my fellow brothers in the Marines. And they won, and I'm glad. They're pretty much pushing these guys, and they're not going to bury them all. Fingers crossed that they don't. The WWE doesn't decide to just use them or misuse them like they do with other tag teams that are on the rise, and they just say, we don't want to push them anymore. Let's knock them down a couple of notches. They're not doing that with the Forgotten Sons yet. So let's hope they don't. Now, Daniel Bryan, he wins via disqualification because Baron Corbin, the king, he got disqualified for throwing a ladder at Daniel Bryan, but then Daniel Bryan gets back at him and puts the yes lock on him in the middle of the ring on top of the ladder. Mandy Rose, unfortunately, wasn't able to win her match to be included in the MITB match, and that sucks. But her man Otis advanced, got past Dolph, and he rounds out the three men to be included in the MITB match. So that sets that up, and then of course on Raw we know that there's going to be a last chance gauntlet match to replace Apollo Crews. So that way, once that's settled, then we're going to have all of the competitors in the included in the Money in the Bank. But overall, like I said, SmackDown was good this week. I'm just happy that we got a good week of wrestling this week. Talking about AEW was able to get the win the ratings war, I guess you can say, this week over NXT. Raw was okay. Like I said, SmackDown was better than last week. A lot of things going on in the wrestling this week. A lot of news that's out now from WWE reportedly being sold, but then there are people inside WWE that are saying that it's not the company itself, but it's the pay-per-view rights, to be broadcast, and that's why they're looking at Fox Sports and even ESPN joined SmackDown. And a week from this Sunday is when we're going to be able to see Money in the Bank. Apparently it's been recorded already, so the winners have already won their briefcases. There hasn't been any leaks or anything said as to who won. So pretty good job on WWE's part to not allow anything to get out. They got these people that are in WWE that are leaking information. There's people that are still listening to that idiot Dave Meltzer, who sometimes you question where he gets his information from. And then there's people that say, he's a cancer to wrestling, and yet people always use him. And a lot of these videos that I watch in these channels, they always quote him. And there's this one one channel who did a video, and they said a comment that he said was proven wrong, and then yet they then use a quote that he said in the next segment. Like, you just proven that he's wrong, and then yet you use it. So why is people still why are they still going by his opinion when he's been proven wrong a lot of times? Yeah. So anyway, that's my video, and for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, and as always, take care. Please remember to subscribe, click like, and click the bell icon for all notifications on this channel.